questions during the, we don't have any interns with us today, so we're not going to be able to answer any of our questions. And to be honest, I'd rather be really present with you, Aimee, because Amy's presence, I want to be present for. Anything that she says is so wise. I love soaking up every single second with her. I love soaking up every single word of wisdom that she has for me. So we're not going to be answering any questions during this Insta Live, but at the end, we'll leave a few minutes to answer any questions. And really the point of this is to introduce you to Aimee and to really just, share with you how she supported me, to inspire how she can possibly support you as well. She is offering free 15-minute coaching calls. Her office is actually, I shouldn't really be telling you where her office is because then you'll know where my apartment is, but her office is literally in that building right there.
Across the street in Manhattan.
If you are not able to come to Amy's actual office in Manhattan or Nyack or sometimes in the Hamptons, then the coaching calls with her is really just the best way to get Aimee live and really to get all of her tools in the pocket, in your pocket. So, all right, Aimee, take it away.
Yeah, so as Arielle was saying, I'm offering right now free 15-minute consults with anyone who applies. You can use the link. Arielle will share with it.
You can go to bewellwitharielle.com/free call. Again, that's bewellwitharielle.com/free call. I'll do that. I'll fix it.
Okay.
One of our phones
went on low battery. It's still playing, I know. But
you can also go to Bewell with Arielle. You can also go to bewellwitharielle.com/blog, and all the information is there. All right. Let me make sure that you are plugged in, Aimee.
Yeah, if you want the support that you need on your path to, whether it's fertility, reawakened health, just feeling better.
Tell everyone what reawakened health means, because
I don't think it means it's okay. It's lost 20%. I don't think it's going to die.
Okay, but the only thing is that it's okay.
I just don't think it's going to stay standing up.
Nope.
This is what you get with these lives. It's fine. It's okay. Just take it off the charger.
Why don't I do it this way?
Okay.
Actually.
No. Yeah.
Okay, Aimee, keep going. Okay, there we go.
It's a little distracting. Okay. Hi. It's a nicer view. I'm sorry we're sideways for some of you guys, but we're upright for over here on Arielle's, and we're upright. So reawakened health means that you begin to transform into a better version of yourself on every level, mentally, emotionally, physically, and nutritionally. So what I see in the clinic, and even when Arielle and I started working together, it's like, she's this fantastic health and wellness coach, you're like a fabulous cook. I mean, she does so many things, I think in accordance with we're both so aligned with what we preach and how we treat and nourish our bodies. But she still didn't feel her best self. You still felt a little tired, a little sluggish, emotionally not totally aligned at all times. I mean, not that we have to feel aligned at all times, but so there was these tweaks that her and I made together, and it was the way I work. It's not just a diet, or I tell you to meditate. It's cracking open the person and figuring out these belief systems that they have about themselves and their body, and then how to get them to begin to transform those beliefs to ones that are more supportive and more loving, more kind. And then from there, making the lifestyle and diet changes are simple. They're easy because you're doing it from a place of feeling very connected to yourself. So to me, reawakened health means you're connected. You can hear the cues from your body. You respond to them with love and kindness and compassion. So you're living in sync with your body rather than just up in your head. And it's all, that mental chatter, and we're not fully supporting ourselves. So it's about shifting into, like I was saying, this better, more supported, more loving, kind version of yourself. And from there, the health transformation just falls into place.
What I really love about Aimee is that sometimes she can be woo-woo, like you were just being,
yes.
but she's also really practical and really functional. So she did tell me what to eat. She told me what supplements to take. And then she also gave me recommendations to upgrade my health, like getting more plants in my house to oxygenate the air. She told me to, change around the energy in my room when I was trying to get pregnant. What kind of mattress are you sleeping on? What kind of sheets are you sleeping on? Are they comfortable? Are they silky? Do they make you feel sexy and beautiful? But also, like, are they organic? Actually, I don't think my sheets are organic, Aimee, but my mattress is. But she gave really, really functional, very simple tips. So I'd love to give you today some simple tips that Aimee helped me with. By the way, she has written 3 books. The first book is called Chill Out and Get Healthy, which I actually have never read.
Yeah, it's a good one. I love it. I mean, I wrote it in 2009.
Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, which I have read like 10, 15 times. Not really from front to back, but like literally this is my Bible. When I was trying to get pregnant, this was my Bible. And then she recently wrote Body Belief, which is really, really just an incredible way to really upgrade your health. So in any case, we're going to give you some tips from all 3 of these books today in order to just help you feel better, just inspire you to feel better. So if you are trying to get pregnant, I would highly, highly encourage you to get the Yes You Can Get Pregnant book, and then also book a session with Aimee.
Absolutely.
Book a free call with her, see if she's right for you. But all of my friends that I have recommended to Aimee, first of all, are absolutely obsessed with her. And you'll see why today. She just gives really, really amazing advice. All right, so let's get into the advice.
Sure.
So first, let's start with if you are trying to get pregnant. Actually, no. Let's start with like if you just want to fucking feel better, because feel better. Because right now I am not really feeling my best. I developed a cold, and I know it was because of all the stress that I was putting on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Gabrielle Bernstein's Spirit Junkie Master Class. Was it this past weekend or the weekend before? It was this past weekend. And it really just like cracked me open and made me realize that I have a lot of work to do, and I'm working on really big projects. I'm opening a restaurant in the fall. And what I realized was in order to get to this bigger place, in order to grow and expand into the Arielle 2.0, into this new type of version that I need to be, I need to let go of like a lot of the shit that I was carrying.
Shit that doesn't serve you.
And anyway, through that, I just like totally broke down and developed this cold. And now I'm trying to reawaken my health and upgrade my health again, and just upgrade my spirit. Like I really just haven't been feeling myself. So I came into your office the other day. And so if you're either coming into your office or you have a call with you, and like, I'm not feeling my best right now. So what advice would you give me right now?
Well, I think we'd look at, the practical things are, how much are you sleeping?
Okay.
That's a really important piece. You should be sleeping 7 to 8 hours per night, ideally. How are you managing your stress levels? So, I think a thing that came up for you and I was just getting more support, right? That you were just keeping a lot in, and
I'm trying to do it all on my own.
Trying to do it all, trying to do your best, right? So we shifted your mantra.
Yes.
I'm getting shit done versus I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best, because the best, that word felt like too much pressure, and I agree with you. That
and like too much, it was too perfect. It's like even today, like I wanted to like blow dry my hair and feel really good for this Instagram live. Didn't have time, like my baby pooped, had to go change her diaper, didn't have time, Aimee arrived, and my hair wasn't done. And I'm like, you know what? It's not about doing my best. It's not about like having pretty hair. It's not about feeling my best. It's about just getting shit done. It's about being here for you and inspiring you.
Yeah, showing up. And so, we talked a lot about too, prioritizing things. Let's take things off the plate that aren't super important. Because so how does that all manifest into a cold? The way I see it as a practitioner of Chinese medicine. So I practice acupuncture, but I also see any dis-ease, disharmony, chaos in the body, a cold, as a sign of something emotionally being out of whack. And so that conversation was allowing and giving Arielle the space to lift some of the burdens that she's carrying. And believe it or not, that'll take the burden off of the immune system and the state of inflammation in the body, and she will begin to heal faster. So then, of course, I said sleep, I said managing stress, I pushed bone broth, and she was like, I'm just not craving bone broth these days. I'm just not into it, remember?
Mm-hmm.
I still said, if you could get some in, or, just focus on, cooked, nourishing foods, like take the time to sit and eat, make sure you're eating. That's a huge problem with new moms, and especially new moms that are running businesses. I've been there, I can be there myself. We forget to eat because we're taking care of everybody else and everything else. So, that was a big piece. Making sure you're taking your vitamins. I sent her home with a new bottle of liver pills.
So, for anyone that's new to you today, what supplements can they start taking
immediately,
even without a consultation? And by the way, Aimee's consultations, in a free 15-minute call, I don't know if she's going to be able to really get to the nitty-gritty of everything that you're going to be asking her, but she's really, really, really good at helping you diagnose some things right away and helping you to just upgrade your health right away, especially with supplements. So
we have too for the call. We have an application, a form that you fill out. So I get nuts and bolts basically before we get on the call, so I kind of know exactly where I want to go right away, so I can streamline real fast.
So again, if you want a free 15-minute call with Aimee to figure out like what supplements are the best for you, what you should be implementing into your daily life right now to feel your best or to get pregnant if that's what you wish, you can go to bewellwitharielle.com/free call and you can sign up. It's like at the top. And then you can schedule a call with Aimee.
So,
all right, so what supplements would be good in just a general way for everyone?
General health. A probiotic, a good quality probiotic. I like Mega Foods. Their Flora, I think the 2014 or the 514 is really great. I love cod liver oil over fish oil because cod liver oil has vitamin A and D naturally occurring in it, which is really good. Vitamin A and D are both, they're fat-soluble vitamins. Vitamin D is actually a hormone and regulates hormones in your body. So if you're having any hormonal imbalances, whether you're trying to conceive or not, cod liver oil is really one of my favorite things. I recommend a teaspoon a day. I love the brands Green Pastures and Rosita. I think Carlson's is a good brand too.
And if you don't like taking the teaspoons of cod liver oil
like
me, you can take the capsules.
Absolutely.
How many capsules would you recommend?
It's 8 capsules a day or 1 teaspoon of liquid a day.
I've been taking 2. Maybe that's why I've been feeling so shitty.
Yeah.
I need to up my capsules. 8 is a lot.
8 is a lot, but that's a teaspoon.
When I was trying to get pregnant, I think
6 maybe.
I think I was doing 6.
Yeah. So I go to between 6 and 8 on my capsules.
All right. I need to increase my capsules.
When I don't take mine, so, and I'm not bragging here, but I get compliments on my skin all the time. People are always like, oh my God, what do you do for your skin? What do you do for your skin? And I joke, it's like, well, I practice what I preach, but I really think it's the cod liver oil. And when I don't take it regularly, I start to see it in my skin. It just doesn't look as vibrant or as nourished. And I feel it in my body. I feel just not as, I think in sync with my body. And my eczema will flare up a little bit. So the cod liver oil for me is like hands down one of the most important pieces to my personal regimen and to the regimen that I recommend. Basically, the more omega-3s we have in the body, the less inflamed we are, and every disease, disharmony in the body, all the way from fertility to migraines to, big things, like cancer, is too much inflammation in the body. So the omega-3s really help lower that inflammation. So to me, that's hands down super important.
So first is probiotic, and in nutrition school, I learned take it on an empty stomach. So take it either in the morning on an empty stomach or at night before you go to bed. Granted, if you don't have dinner too close to going to bed.
Yeah.
And then cod liver oil.
Foods. Yeah.
Cod liver oil with food.
With a fat preferably.
With fat.
Because that's easier to digest. Exactly, easier to digest. And the probiotics, another side thing is you could just eat a serving of really good quality fermented sauerkraut every day and get the same thing, or kefir if you could do a coconut kefir or a dairy kefir depending on how.
So explain what good quality sauerkraut is for some people.
It should read fermented on the label. Hawthorne Valley makes a really good one. Real Pickles is another brand that I love. But basically the ingredients are just things like sauerkraut, salt, and some seasonings. So there's a killer cookbook called Nourishing Traditions. They have phenomenal fermented vegetable recipes, which is another go-to. It's like a Bible, I think.
So if you want to make your own sauerkraut,
yes.
Make some for me.
Yes,
I will
exactly.
gladly accept it. Okay, so probiotics, cod liver oil. So one probiotic per day. eight cod liver oil pills per day, and this is for everyone. This is no matter. Yeah. This is no matter if you're trying to get pregnant or if you just want to feel better. This is what you recommend.
As an aside, I always say, this whole diet, this whole protocol, yes, you can get pregnant, is really just a protocol to optimal health, because when you're in optimal health, your fertility thrives. It's just that simple. And sometimes health for people is not nutrition, it's more mindset, right? So it just depends. When I get a client, I can kind of figure out what I need to work on the most. But the mindset piece is, I think, just as important as the diet piece, because some people are like, oh, I'm doing all these things. I've read your book. I'm doing all the supplements. It's still not working. It's like, okay, then we need to work on the mindset. We need to learn to manage your stress in a different way. But
I want to bring, actually, I'll get back to that. Yeah. Keep on going over the supplements, because I feel like people really like that. But don't let me forget. But that's actually, I think, what ended up getting me pregnant. I was following 100%. Amy's protocol. It took me all in all, it took me about a year to get pregnant. When I first started seeing Aimee, I wasn't ready to get pregnant, so I wasn't trying yet. But anyway, that piece was really important. It was like the joy piece. Let's get back to that, because I think that's really important. All right. So probiotics, cod liver oil. Liver, okay.
Which people are like, you want me to eat liver? No, you can take it in pill form. I like grass-fed liver. Dr. Ron's is one of my favorite brands. Vital Proteins also makes a great one. Liver is what I call nature's B complex. And the B complex is supremely important for anyone who's dealing with stress or has hormones. Basically, you need a good B complex. Liver also gives you the right kind of folate, aka folic acid, that your body needs for a healthy pregnancy. Most people are taking folic acid, and that's a huge no-no. Don't take anything, and I repeat, all of you, if you are on a prenatal or any multivitamin that has folic acid, stop it immediately.
Look at the back right now and stop it.
Stop it immediately.
Don't finish the bottle. I know you probably paid money for it, but don't finish the bottle.
With methylfolate. 50% or more of the population have this mutation that basically doesn't allow you to take folic acid and make it into folate, and it can cause the folic acid to become toxic. That alone can be a fertility problem. You'd be surprised. I'm surprised at how many girls I just get to switch from folic acid to folate, and then fertility thrives.
And by the way, I went to many, many doctors when I was trying to get pregnant, but one tested me for MTHFR, and I ended up having it. Mm-hmm. Which means that my body cannot metabolize folic acid, and it actually ended up that I needed to take a vitamin with methylfolate. Yes. So if you are not able to get those tests, just take the methylfolate anyway, and it will say it on the bottle of prenatal vitamins.
Exactly. So the prenatal should say methylfolate. I like the liver pills because it's just extra, can't hurt. If I know someone has the MTHFR, I do love this supplement called Methyl Guard Plus by Thorne, which I think is incredible. I have all of my supplements on aimeeraupp.com/Amy's Rex, AIMEESRECS. That might help you. All the links and everything are on there. But the Methyl Guard Plus is great if you know you have the MTHFR. And then so probiotics, cod liver oil, liver, and then we talked about the folate, the importance there. And then lastly, I like spirulina or blue-green algae, Hawaiian, it doesn't have to be Hawaiian, but organic spirulina. I consider that nature's multivitamin. I personally never took a prenatal or a multivitamin in my life through my whole pregnancy because I was on the spirulina. So some girls prefer spirulina or multi or prenatal, or you can alternate between the two. Or if you need the extra juice and you want to get an extra servings of greens in a tablet form or powder form, I love the spirulina as well. And then I have, other supplements like vitamin D or extra folate
But that really depends on you individually.
And so that's where I kind of streamline. But I think the four basics are probiotic or probiotic-rich foods, cod liver oil, liver, and the spirulina. And then also to be certain you are not taking anything that has folic acid in it. Look at your protein powders. There's so many things that are, enhanced with folic acid, or what's the word that they use? Like supplemented with in processed packaged foods. And folic acid is really causing a lot of problems in women and fertility. So please remove that from everything.
All right, so now that we got to supplements, that was really helpful, and I think hopefully that was really helpful for all of you. And again, Aimee customizes, there were other things that I ended up taking to really upgrade my fertility. And there were a few things that I tried and didn't work for me, and so we kind of like switched it around. But what did you say? There were a few things that I kind of switched around. But if you want a customized version for you of what supplements to take and what you could be doing to either just feel better now, or if you are trying to get pregnant in order to get pregnant, you can get a free 15-minute consultation call with Aimee, and that's so generous, by the way. Aimee's not the easiest to get appointments with. If you call and try to get an acupuncture appointment with her, she most likely will refer you to one of her associates. Aimee has, again, just written 3 books. Like, she's incredible. So I feel like that's really, really generous of you. I wouldn't be able to offer free 15-minute coaching.
I'm excited for it. We're just doing it we did it for the month of June. The slots filled up really quickly, so we extended it for another 2 weeks into July. So we'll see. I mean, it felt good. I did a few yesterday. Those are my first ones, and I loved it. It was really nice to reach these women and offer, just even if it was 1 or 2 tips, just some
to reach
hope.
you, to give you tips.
And it connects me more with the audience, which is just something that I'm working on.
So if you want a free call with Aimee, free 15 minutes. She's amazing. You'll want the 15 minutes with her. You can go to bewellwitharielle.com/free call, and it will bring you to Aimee's website and the link to sign up for your own consultation.
Yes.
So, Aimee, what else do you think that will be really helpful for people
to
know?
The joy factor. You want to go there?
Sure. Okay. So, so when I was trying to get pregnant, Aimee put me on certain protocol. At the time, I was also going to a reproductive endocrinologist, and because I found out that I had autoimmune issues, specifically thyroid issues, or a thyroid issue, hypothyroidism, and I realized that I really needed to upgrade my health, and I needed to start really taking care of my body in a new way. So I ended up taking Aimee's supplements, and I ended up really incorporating more cooked foods to my diet. I ended up incorporating more animal proteins. I ended up eating every 2 to 3 hours. Like, no matter where I was, I had raw almonds in my bag. I had a bar in my bag. I had a hard-boiled egg in my bag. No matter what, I would always eat every 2 to 3 hours.
I think that's a big tip too that I want to just really highlight to you guys. One of the biggest things I see next to this folic acid issue is women don't eat enough.
You mean when people are trying to get pregnant,
or just even balancing the hormones, or just like, do you get that afternoon crash every day, or do you feel exhausted like 3 o'clock and need something sweet or another cup of coffee? Chances are that means to me your blood sugar has not been stabilized. You need to stabilize your blood sugar first thing in the morning. So upon waking, within that first hour, you've got to eat something. It could just be 2 almonds, a handful of sunflower seeds, some collagen peptides in your tea or coffee, some sort of protein within that first hour of waking, and then have your breakfast. But be certain that the window of time between meals, between protein-rich meals, and I'm a big fan of animal protein. It should be good quality. But if you don't do animal protein, we're talking like eggs, nuts, nut butters, beans, that kind of thing. Max 3 hours. If you want to balance your hormones or you're trying to get pregnant, that is a really, really important piece that you need to follow. And that was a big thing that we did, you and I remember that. And most of my clients, it's not just Arielle, I mean, including myself, like there's times where I can slip and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I feel exhausted, or I feel all I want is chocolate, or all I want are carbs. And then I look back at my day and it's because I didn't properly support myself from the get-go. I'm not mean to myself about it. I love myself, and just say, okay, Aim, next time we're going to try to do it better. But I have to stay on top of that protein. That's when I really show up the best for myself and for my body and for my hormones. We're flipping you guys up and down and all around because now we're going to switch the charger back to Arielle. It's just like the world of technology,
So anyway, I was following Aimee's protocol, and what I realized was that the most important part that was really missing was that I was so focused on trying to get pregnant that I wasn't excited about it anymore. I kind of just lost the excitement. I kind of lost the joy. So if you are trying to get pregnant now, or if you're starting a business now, I'm starting a new business, and I too, I'm feeling this right now. Like there's so much work to be done and I'm having so many challenges that I'm losing the joy out of it. I'm losing the fun out of it. And so I know that it's always the process and it's the journey, not the destination, right? But it really, really is.
It really is.
So back to when I was trying to get pregnant, a few things that really, really switched it up. Number one, I woke up every day and I made it a choice to treat myself like I was already pregnant.
Mm-hmm. And that's a big thing we do in my practice. It's huge. It's acting as if. I think it really, really helps shift your mindset into this place of like, how would I feel, or how would I do? How would I nourish myself if I were?
How would I walk to this meeting if I was pregnant right now? How would I eat this food, even if it's on the go, if I were pregnant right now? How would I exercise if I were pregnant right now? How would I treat myself?
Take my vitamins.
How would I take my vitamins if I were pregnant right now?
Meditate, right? Interact with my partner or my friends or, anything. How would I present to the world if
How would I take a shower if I were pregnant right
Yeah.
now? What beauty products would I be using right now if I were pregnant right now? What would I be eating right now if I were pregnant right now? And all of these things help me get into a place where I just kind of felt, I embodied that human being growing inside of me. So on another angle was the joy, right? The other part of this conversation was the joy in it. It wasn't just like acting as if I was and treating myself really optimally so I could end up getting pregnant, right? And for me, it was really slowing down.
Yeah,
so when I mentioned before, like, how am I going to walk to this meeting? Like, I end up running to every fucking meeting because I'm just in a rush. Am I going to be in a rush to every single thing while I'm pregnant? No. So
I love when Arielle drops the F-bombs. Don't you love that? I drop a lot of F-bombs. You don't as many. I like it. It's a good sign.
I'm feeling really empowered.
F-bomby.
So back to joy, how can I feel more joyful? How can I feel happier right now? I was working towards something. I was working towards getting pregnant, even though I didn't have the baby inside of me yet. How can I still be happy with what I have now? And that's actually a really big point. It's something that Aimee taught me when I was having one of my sessions with Aimee. She looked at me and she said, don't focus on don't focus on, yes, being happy when, but don't focus on like, the length of your periods. Or don't focus on like everything that's going wrong. Why don't you start focusing on what's going right? So at that time, I remembered like, oh, my skin looked really good. That was a good sign that
you were less cold. I remember that.
Yes, I was less cold. I didn't have to sleep with my socks on. That's something that before I was trying to get pregnant, before I saw Aimee, that's something that I would have to do. I would have to sleep with my socks on. I would have to sleep with like a sweatshirt and sweatpants on. Yeah. And like, I realized I didn't have to do that. So there were certain things like, how can I be joyful every single day, every minute of the day? Yeah. And when I'm not feeling joyful, when I'm not feeling happy, how can I get myself to that place? So if you are in a place right now where either you're trying to get pregnant or you just want to feel better, you're sick of how you're feeling, you want to feel better, what is working in your life? Mm-hmm. Think about 3 things right now that are working in your life. Let's do it right now. Okay. Because I kind of need that right now.
Okay. You want to go first?
I don't know if I actually want to share them. I just want to think about it.
I'll share some of mine, and you think. So this morning, too, I had to get my little guy ready for camp. It's the first day of this new summer camp, so he's never gone to this school before. His teacher, however, is teaching at this camp, so I feel a little more comfortable. I mean, his sunscreen has to be applied. He's got to be in a bathing suit. He's got to have a towel. His lunch. Jesus, it's like 45 minutes to my morning to get the whole thing ready. And I did it, and I got up early. I had my tea, and I got a few minutes of alone time because then he woke up, but I did it, and I said to myself, that felt really good. That felt like I was going to actually do an Instagram post about it. That felt like one of my biggest accomplishments. Like of all of these 3 books, this morning I was really proud of. Like that felt good. I had a nice day with my husband yesterday, and that was really nice. We had such a nice night together. We shared some things that I think both of us were keeping in, and that felt really good. It did, and then getting here to be with you and, supporting, even though, right, we're doing this Instagram Live and perhaps maybe you don't see it as support, but it is. It's like being here with my friend give you the support, you know, because she's got a lot of shit on her plate, and I'm always there to support her and love her. So that's where I focus versus, oh my God, I have so much to do, and we have this, like, you know, whatever, all these things to do, and what stresses me out and what's not going right. I try to shift my focus. And it's not to say to be 100% positive and happy all the time, because that's completely unrealistic. But if you could shoot for like a 70 to 80% of the time, or even when you're in the state of like anxiety or fear or stress, stop and sit with yourself. That's what I was talking about in the beginning, that reconnecting. But sit with yourself and ask yourself, like, am I in a state of fear? Like, what am I believing right now about this situation? You know, and typically it's, you know, you're not doing it good enough, you're not working hard enough, you're not moving fast enough, right? So we're beating ourselves up on some level. And so then you ask yourself, well, if I were to, you know, have the opposite feeling or a better feeling, what would I need to believe about myself? You know, that things always work out. That, you know, this, you know, I love one of our favorite teachers is Abraham, and she always says, you can't miss your boat because there's another one right behind it. You know,
favorite teacher meaning someone that we don't really know.
Yeah,
spiritual teacher, Esther Hicks
she's
Abraham.
like a guide of sorts. We will listen to her. But
I listen to her free classes on YouTube. So
Same.
Just YouTube or Google Esther Hicks.
Esther Hicks Abraham. It's amazing. But she says, you know, you can't get it wrong, you never get it done, you know, and I love that too, of just like, stop putting so much pressure on yourself. You know, things are unfolding the way they're supposed to, and focus on being happy now, not when. I think that's a big piece to it, you know, and that was a big shift for you. And then also there's times in your life where this is what's going on. There's just a lot on your plate, and, you know, breathe into it, accept it, acknowledge it. Like, I feel a little frustrated today. Okay, that's all right. You know, and we really try to acknowledge feelings, you know, especially my family. I have a 2-year-old, right? And you got a little lady, and, you know, he can see it on my face sometimes. And I'm like, yeah, right now mommy's frustrated, and, you know, I'm going to work through it. Everything's going to be okay. And I let him know, you know, people have moments that aren't always, you know.
This week I have not been feeling good, and I'm not faking it. I'm sharing
which is
about
great.
it.
Yeah.
So on that note, Gemma, my baby, is going to be up any second.
Yes.
But we want to get to you and your questions. So I am going to... No, I'll scroll through.
Okay.
So go ahead and start asking your questions right now. Let's see if anyone has asked any questions that we think will be really, really helpful. All right. Let's see.
Okay. Arielle's getting down on the ground now to see.
All right. Wondering where the mugs came from.
Oh.
I don't know. I think I got them from TJ Maxx.
Yeah, they're pretty, right?
Seriously, this chat is so good. Oh, thanks, Beth. Once I slowed down and listened, I found my joy. Awesome. Pregnant. Woo! Yeah, we see a lot of people slowing down. That's awesome.
Good. That's so key. It's slowing down to reconnect.
Ask your questions now. Ask your questions now. If you have any questions, you can ask them now, and we
if you
can
don't,
answer.
if you have more specific questions for me, follow Arielle's link. Fill out the form. It's a Google form. It'll take you a second to fill out, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 60. And then schedule a call with me and let me see how I can be of service to you, because that's really what I love to do.
Yes, yes, yes. So if you would like to get more supportive health, just wanted to know how you became a successful health coach. So I went to health coaching school. Can you see me? Health coaching school, nutrition school, in 2008. So I've been at this for a really, really long time. I would suggest that every day you just focus on one thing to do towards your business. And, you know, if you're at a place where I would just try to help as many people that you can. In the beginning, I would do it for free just so you have that experience.
Yeah.
And then I would, you know, once you feel confident and once you really know that you're helping other people, you can, you know, start making that into a business.
Love that.
Any other questions? I feel like we should probably bring this a little closer.
Yeah, and I need a time check too.
Time check is 11:28.
Oh, I have an 11:30 client. I might have to hang out.
All right. Cod liver oil, okay, while you're pregnant. Last question of the day.
Absolutely, yes. And important. And some, like my teachers, I'm a big student of Weston A. Price, they say you need to double your intake of cod liver oil when you're pregnant. But yes, I would not worry about the vitamin A content in cod liver oil. If you are, or you need some reference, go to Google Vitamin A Saga by Weston A. Price, Weston. But the Vitamin A Saga, and read all about the importance of vitamin A in cod liver oil and for pregnancy. So yes.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
joining
guys.
today. We hope that this was helpful. We hope that this has inspired you. Aimee is so incredible. I actually read her book before we were friends, and I fell in love with her because of her book and the voice in her book, and she's brought me so much joy, and I am grateful for every minute that I spend with her. So if you're able to have 15 minutes with her, that's a lot of time with Aimee. So schedule your free consultation at bewellwitharielle.com/free call. Or you can also find it on my website, bewellwitharielle.com/blog. And hope this was helpful today.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Mwah.
Love you.
Kisses.
Bye. Right.
Okay.
Cancel.
And
Bye.
save. Okay, perfect. Bye, everyone.
If I'm not
Okay,
on
hold on. Don't
Wi-Fi.
go. Just make sure that it's here.
What's the password on this guy?
Apple? Oh no, I don't think that it.
No, it's still going.
recorded.
It's still
It
going.
does?
Yeah.
Okay,
Apple
perfect.
what?
Just Apple.
See? 3619. Great.